miles away. But that little planet was the red planet, Mars.
Well, anything happening?
Nothing unusual.
Do you think old Davidson's right?
I don't see why not.
Well, I don't, frankly. They've made bloomers at Greenwich before. The opposition in 33, for instance.
What about Laidler's report from Singapore?
Even Laidler isn't infallible, Nicholson.
Yes, you're right. Laidler's too definite. What has he said in his cable? A mass of incandescent gas, chiefly hydrogen. How did it go?
Moving with enormous velocity towards the Earth.
Yes, the report does sound a bit highly coloured, come to think of it. But Laidler's always been very sound.
Well, I think it's a shower of meteorites, myself.
You've had meteorites on the brain ever since you were an undergraduate.
Well, what about some sort of implosion, then?
From what we know about Mars, it's not very likely.
Oh, I don't know. And what's your guess, anyway?
Well, you know what a crank I am.
I suppose you've already cooked up some extra special explanation.
As a matter of fact, I have.
Well, let's hear the worst.
Isn't it just possible that someone is firing something?
Firing? Oh, my dear chap, really? That's pretty tall, you know. Even for you.
I don't see that it's so fantastic to suggest that Mars is inhabited.
No.
Not these days. We're not as dogmatic about these things as people were 30 years ago. Even 10 years ago.
The chances are 1,000,000 to 1, several million to 1.
So what?
Well, the whole
with
thing's
all
nonsense.
these millions of stars up there, the odds mightn't be as great as you think.
Millions and millions to 1.
Anyway, I know one thing.
What?
If I were on Mars, Ogilvy, I'd be making strenuous efforts to get away from it.
What do you mean?
Well, look, let's suppose for a minute that Mars is inhabited.
Okay, let's suppose.
Mm-hmm. Well, to begin with, it's 35 million miles further from the sun than the Earth is, agreed?
Agreed.
Now, Mars gets only half as much heat and light from the sun as we do. Agreed again?
Agreed, oh, Socrates.
If the nebula hypothesis is true, then, in addition to being colder and darker, it's older than the Earth. All right?
So far.
And since it's older, it's also nearer life's end.
I have an awful feeling, old chap, that at any moment you're going to start talking rubbish.
Mars has cooled more than the Earth has. Even at the equator, its temperature is as cold as December in England.